Most homeowners have no idea that there are two big changes that are about to shake up how homes are bought and sold here in Washington. One will protect you from sneaky offers on your house, while the other pulls back the curtain on who's really behind some of those big cash deals. Both laws will change how buyers and sellers play the game. And of course, if you stick with me to the end, you'll see exactly how these laws could protect you and also how they might trip you up if you're not aware of them. And we're going to talk all about it right now, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Shastine, your trusted local real estate guide here in Southwest Washington. And now, here's why I make videos like this. Being a real estate agent isn't just about helping people buy or sell homes. It's about staying ahead of the laws and changes that could affect you before you buy, while you own, or even years down the road when you sell. And so these updates can actually influence where you choose to buy, what type of property makes sense, and how smooth your future sell will be. And that's why I bring these law change breakdowns into my channel, because if I can help you understand how these shifts really impact your decisions, you'll be way more prepared than most homeowners or buyers out there. And today, well, we've got two big ones. One state law right here in Washington, and one is an actual federal law that hits nationwide. Let's start with the local one, shall we? This one is known as 1081 SBR, and it was just passed in Olympia, and it is a consumer protection law. And here's what it actually does in plain English. If someone solicits you to sell your home, meaning your house isn't even listed for sale, but you get that postcard, knock on the door, or that flyer that says, "We'll buy your home for cash," you now get a whole set of rights that you didn't have before. The first right you have is that, of course, you're going to have the right to have an appraisal, and here's the kicker. The potential buyer, they have to pay for it. The second part of that is you can actually back out of the contract with no penalty after you see that appraisal, or within 10 business days if you skip the appraisal. And every purchase agreement in these situations has to be clearly and in bold print tell you about these rights. And let's talk about why the lawmakers actually made this change. Frankly, it's because too many homeowners were being pressured into selling off market, and sometimes at prices way below market value. And these homeowners did not even have any real estate agent representing them. So they were really left vulnerable and oftentimes basically giving away their home at a fraction of the cost. And this law, well, it is about cutting down on predatory offers. And as a real estate agent, even when I have homes listed, I get some of these really corny email type of offers from these different individuals, in which, of course, as an agent, I'm able to properly guide my client and warn them. Let's talk about a story if you didn't have an agent. Let me give you an example of how sometimes these things work, because I get stories about this all the time, unfortunately. Picture this. Grandma lives in Vancouver, and she gets a letter saying, "We'll buy your home today for $300,000 cash." She thinks, wow, that really sounds like a great offer. But the appraisal shows her home is actually worth $420,000. Under this new law, she can walk away. There's no penalty, no strings attached. Without this protection, though, she might have actually signed away $120,000 of her hard-earned equity. So basically, no more getting lowballed while you're just trying to sip your coffee in your kitchen in the morning, and you have somebody knock at your door with one of these little, well, solicitations. And if they do, if somebody wants to buy your house, they're going to have to play fair. And that's what makes this law, I think, a very good one. Here's the second law that you need to know about. That is a federal law across the whole United States, not just a Washington thing. Formerly known as the FinCEN, this law has to do with all cash entity purchases. And starting December 1st, 2025, there is a brand new rule from FinCEN, which stands for Financial Crimes Enforcement Network. I think it kind of gives a hint to that name, doesn't it? This law is targeting those all-cash buyers who purchased homes through LLCs, corporations, or trusts. And for years, people used these shell companies to buy homes, without people knowing who they are, right? And sometimes it was just for privacy, right? But other times it was a way to actually launder money. In fact, as they began to dig in deeper, the government found that over 40% of these deals were tied to suspicious activity reports. And this is a huge red flag. So here's what's changing with this new law. If an LLC, corporation, or trust tries to buy a home in cash, the closing agent must file a real estate report with the federal government. That agent, of course, is going to be a title and escrow representative here in the state of Washington for those who live here. Now, that report has to list the real humans behind the entity, which means the beneficial owners, right? And if the buyers refuse, the deal cannot go through. It's actually going to stall or it'll collapse until they get the information that they want. What's good to know is that this doesn't affect normal buyers paying in their own name or financed purchases with a mortgage. Basically, it's all about bringing transparency to those mystery buyer cash deals. And here's an example as a seller that you will want to be aware of if you get cash deals, and the agents need to be aware of when they receive cash deals on behalf of their seller. Because believe it or not, it will affect you. Let's say you're selling your Ridgefield home for $750,000 and you get a cash offer from Maple Tree Investments LLC. Sounds solid, right? Well, under the new rule, the title company has to find out who actually owns Maple Tree. And if it turns out the buyer isn't willing to reveal themselves, the deal could fall apart. The upside, sellers like you are less likely to waste weeks under contract with a ghost buyer who was never serious, or worse yet, not even legitimate. The second thing that you're going to need to be aware of is, in this situation, it can delay closing if the title company doesn't beforehand file this paperwork so that it can begin to be processed. So it's very important, listing agents and buyer's agents alike, to have a conversation regarding the transaction that's coming in if there's proper paperwork is received from title so that it can be filled out and there can be proper processing time that will be needed for it. So I guess the humor in this is, if you've ever wondered who exactly is buying all of these houses under corporations, LLCs, and whatnot, well, the government is wondering too. And now they're going to know. So how does these impact you? Both of these laws cut down on shady deals and wasted time. Buyers, if you're buying in your own name, nothing really changes. But if you're planning to use a trust or LLC, be prepared for extra paperwork. And don't be surprised if sellers get a little bit more cautious until they see the details. So here's the bottom line. Whether you're selling your home in Camas or buying one in Vancouver, new rules are reshaping how these transactions are going to happen. Less mystery, more transparency, and better protection for everyday homeowners. If you want to stay ahead of these changes, subscribe and keep watching for more insights that could directly impact your plans to buy, sell, or relocate here in Southwest Washington. And trust me, you don't want to be the last one to find out about these shifts. So thank you for watching my channel. Keep coming back every single week. And until next time, I hope you have a great home buying and selling day.